Hi everyone, Susan Baroncini-Moe from Business in Blue Jeans here. I get a lot of requests from people to talk about how to manage Facebook more effectively. And so I wanted today to take you through the process of creating a list on Facebook. And the reason that we do this is because a lot of us who are in business and even those of us who don't use Facebook for business tend to get a little bit of congestion in our news feeds. And there are a lot of things that show up that maybe you don't want to show up, things that you think, gosh, why do I get these messages all the time? So today I'm going to show you how to manage your Facebook more effectively. And the way that I do that is through creating lists and lists of people that I actually need to follow for very specific reasons. So for example, if you're in business and you specifically target realtors, most of us do use Facebook for personal reasons as well. So you want to have some lists that you can follow for personal reasons. And let's say if you want to work with realtors, you have a list for realtors. If you want to work with chiropractors, you have a list for chiropractors. And so that way you can stay in touch with each of your individual kinds of friends on Facebook without confusing the two and muddying the intent. Now, the way you do this is you scroll down to where you see friends. Now, when you roll over the word friends here, you see a more pops up. You just click that, and then you can click create list. That brings up this window. Now, we're going to create a list of, I'm just going to create a list of guys named Bob. Let's see. I think I can go ahead and start typing here, and it brings up some of my friends named Bob. And so you can actually just start adding right here to do it this way. This is the least efficient way to do it. So if you go ahead and click create, and of course you won't create a list named Bob, but if you could, but you probably won't. So the first thing is you'll notice right away you have a list of things from guys named Bob already right here. And for all the guys named Bob that I'm friends with, my apologies. You can actually add friends to this list very easily over here by typing in Bob. This is very much the same as what we were doing previously. But you can also go up to manage list and click edit list. Now what I can do is I can start just type in Bob, and I can actually click on my friends, and then I can say Bob. Now I can very easily just click to add people here. And as you can see over here, it's adding these guys right now. So you can just keep clicking and adding as many guys named Bob to the list as you want. Now, obviously for you're going to be adding different people. You want to unadd somebody or remove them from the list, you just click twice. You see that little blue check mark goes away. So if the blue check mark is there, then they're on the list. Now, of course, you just keep adding, and you can add as many people to the list as you want. You can also determine what kinds of things you want to appear on this list. So for example, I don't want to see their games. I might not want to see music and videos, and I don't know what other activity I'd want to see. Maybe I only want to see their status updates and photos. So once I've made this change, I can just reload the page. And now I won't see any weird game things. I won't see when they've become friends with someone. I'll only see the things that they're posting here on this page. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of, apparently guys named Bob that I'm friends with have a lot of political stuff. All right, so anyway, you can see there's a lot going on here. So the point is, Catholics need not breed like rabbits. Great. Okay, so you can basically get in here and you can make a lot of changes to the things that you see. Now, for your more personal things, you might want to see photos, comments, and likes, music and video, and other activities. Maybe you want to see games. I don't know why, but you can also rename this friends named Bob. Okay. So, you're not going to create a list of friends named Bob, obviously, but you might create a list of friends from high school. Like you can see over here, I have a list that I call my friends. I named it that because these are my personal friends. These are people that I consider to be in my circle of friends. But I named it my friends because Facebook will create lists called friends, like people that you regularly interact with. I also have a list for my family. That's just specifically family members. I have a specific personal list of people that I consider my closest friends. And then I have a list for my friends who are in my junior league of Indianapolis with me. So you can have a lot of different kinds of friends. Now, you will find, as you scroll down, you will find your new list right here. Now, if I reload the page, it'll probably say friends named Bob if I go down here. And there it is. It says friends named Bob. Now, here it's all the way down at the bottom of this list. It sure would be nice if I could access it as easily as I access my family members and my other friends, right? So I roll over friends named Bob, and I get this little gear icon. I click on it, and I can add it to favorites. It's going to disappear from here, and it's going to get added. Did you see it got added up here? So now it appears in my list of favorites up at the top. And you can see anytime I want to see. Now remember, when you go to facebook.com, it is going to bring you to your full news feed. Okay, so all of your friends are in this news feed, and it's this big jumbled mess. But remember, you can always go to your list that you've created and narrow it down. So you're only connecting with specific people, and you're only connecting with people who are on this list. Again, I'm sorry for the political nature of this. You can always remove people from your list. Anyway, so I can always click here to get my friends named Bob. Now, the other thing is that I can always, make changes to the list. I can remove from favorites. I can rearrange my favorites list so this appears at the very top. And I can also delete this list. And what happens when you delete a list? You just get rid of the list. It doesn't do anything at all to your news feed. It only gets rid of that one list. It doesn't change your actual, it doesn't unfriend those people. Another thing is when you want to add someone to a list, you can roll over their name, and where you see, like in your news feed, you can just roll over their name and this information pops up. You can roll over friends and go down to add to another list. I can click and add him to a list. So I could add him to my friends very easily. The other thing is you can always do that when you, let's say, for example, my friend is Bob Braytal, and Bob is a Guinness World Record holder like me. He has a record for the biggest comic book collection, and Bob and I met on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for Guinness World Record holders. So I could add Bob to my list. Friends named Bob, for example, I could add him there, and Bob would be right there. And now that I've added him, he would be on the list. So it's a very simple matter to add someone to a list, to create a list, and then add people. And it's very simple to organize the list and keep it very well organized and managed. That way you can easily jump into Facebook, and you can look at these lists on your mobile device. Facebook will give you access to your lists on your mobile device and allow you to see a lot of different things. It's a really useful strategy, and one that you can use whether you're at home on your laptop or you're on your iPad or your mobile device. Now, another thing I will say is I tend to create these lists on my laptop at home when I'm working. I create my lists on a screen like this. I don't typically create them on the fly. I don't typically create them on my phone, mostly because it's just easier for me. Can you do it? Probably, but I never have, and I don't usually do that. So I create these on my my laptop, and it usually works pretty easily. And generally speaking, this is a pretty good strategy for managing your social media on Facebook. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, go to businessinbluejeans.com.